During our family beach vacation, my mother-in-law made a rather audacious statement that only real family should stay in our house. My husband, Michael, simply replied, "Honey, just go home." With a smile, I called security, instructing them to escort them out of my resort. Their expressions when they recognized my name on every building were priceless, as I had planned a surprise for their special day. The message arrived while I was engrossed in reviewing quarterly reports for my resort chain. Remember to pack casual clothes for the beach house this weekend. Nothing fancy, it's just family. My mother-in-law's tone dripped with her characteristic condescension, bringing a grin to my face. If only she knew that I, Sarah Chen, 34, owner of the Sapphire Bay Resort Group, was far more than just Michael's wife who worked in hospitality. I had never corrected their misconception that I was merely a hotel receptionist. I preferred to allow them to believe it. The truth was that I had built my company from scratch, transforming struggling beachfront properties into a luxurious resort empire over the past decade, long before I met Michael at a hotel management conference. Although I was already successful when we fell in love, I chose to keep my accomplishments under wraps to avoid conflicts with his status-obsessed family. Regina, my mother-in-law, had always used our annual beach vacations as a way to showcase her wealth. She would rent the most extravagant property at Sapphire Bay, my flagship resort, and spend the week reminding everyone of her generosity. However, the irony that she was paying me for the privilege never ceased to amuse me, especially after overhearing her and my sister-in-law Amanda plotting during a recent family dinner. Regina had suggested that Michael trade up for someone like Jessica from his office, who happened to come from wealth, while dismissing me as not being of their class. As the family trip approached, I decided it was time for a change. On Friday, I arrived at the beach house ahead of everyone else, utilizing my private access road. The staff, who recognized me but were expertly discreet, had everything prepared. I donned a simple sundress, something Regina would likely consider cheap, and patiently waited for their arrival. They came in style, with Regina leading the way in her Mercedes SUV. Michael greeted me with a kiss, while his mother scrutinized the house with her usual air of entitlement. Amanda followed closely behind, with Jessica from Michael's office flaunting a designer swimsuit that likely cost more than Regina assumed I made in a month. Regina's voice, filled with false sweetness, instructed me to help the housekeeper, Maria, with their luggage. With a smile, I suggested that Maria could take the afternoon off, as I'd arranged for butler service. Regina's eyes narrowed at my audacity, questioning who was paying for it. I simply assured her it was all taken care of. The evening unfolded as Regina had planned, with Jessica monopolizing every opportunity to sit next to Michael while I was pushed to the far end. Disappointed, I watched as Regina coldly directed me to check the air conditioning. I insisted I could call maintenance, only to be interrupted by her request for Jessica to share details about her father's development project. As I stepped away to check my phone, I received a security report with footage showing Regina and Amanda in the kitchen, spiking my drinking glass with what appeared to be liquid laxative. How incredibly original, I thought. I discreetly sent a message to my head of security to follow protocol. Returning to the terrace, Regina was in full control, criticizing my attire. When she suggested I move to a more budget-friendly hotel, I patiently waited, watching Michael remain silent. Finally, my security chief arrived with 2 officers, leading to a confrontation where I introduced myself as the owner and CEO of Sapphire Bay Resorts. I informed them that their reservation had been canceled for violating terms of their rental agreement by attempting to poison another guest. Silence enveloped the terrace as I explained my ownership of the resort chain and expressed my disappointment with Michael's behavior. I informed Jessica about the elimination of her position at her father's company. Her employment would not survive the restructuring I had initiated. Regina shouted in disbelief that I couldn't take such action, but I calmly reminded her that the contract allowed for eviction. As my in-laws were escorted off the property, I felt a mix of vindication and freedom. Leaving them behind, I turned to Maria, offering her a new role as head of housekeeping with a significant pay raise, which brought her to tears. I gazed at the sunset over my resort, reflecting on the importance of letting people reveal their true character. 3 days later, a video of Regina's meltdown after being removed went viral, garnering millions of views. While I watched the family's fallout from my penthouse office, calls from Regina, Michael, and friends filled my phone. I blocked them all, except for Jessica's father, where I discussed the recent changes in company ownership and her involvement in their malicious schemes. As the divorce proceedings unfolded, Michael received exactly what we agreed upon, enough to start fresh but nothing more. Regina's public image crumbled as I released security footage of her attempted poisoning, leading to scathing headlines. Despite Amanda's attempts to make peace, I was unmoved. She arrived at my office, pleading for me to overlook their behavior. I showed her the property I had just purchased. Regina's annual rental bragging matched by my new acquisition. In the aftermath, Regina's social circle began whispering about her downfall, the irony not lost as they spoke within the very resorts I owned. Michael attempted to reconcile, but I remained firm. His understanding came too late. He had prioritized keeping his mother happy over standing up for his wife. 6 months post-beach incident, I hosted a charity gala to raise millions for hospitality education, with Maria giving a heartfelt speech. Regina tried to attend but was denied entry, her membership revoked. My reputation only grew stronger, leading to interview invitations lauding my business acumen. I expressed gratitude for the experiences, as they taught me about character and respect across all levels. 1 year later, I received an invitation to Michael and Jessica's engagement, accompanied by a note reflecting their struggles. I responded with a framed copy of the rental agreement from that fateful beach trip, congratulating them on their forthcoming union. Regina sold her beach house for a loss, and I transformed it into a center for hospitality employees. My resort's reputation flourished, earning recognition for its culture and regard for its staff. As I reflected on that last dinner at the beach house, I considered how they had underestimated my power. True power lies not in wealth, but in integrity, dignity, and respect for all. Even today, I spot Regina's car outside the resort, wondering if she recognizes that her biggest mistake was underestimating my worth. The glass that Regina attempted to spike sits in my office as a memento, a reminder that success is about maintaining dignity while revealing others' true natures. Recently, I received an invitation from Michael, encapsulated by his acknowledgement of being blind to the truth. In response, I gifted him a fictitious honeymoon suite at one of my resorts, a gentle reminder that real class transcends monetary wealth. Some lessons, after all, are best learned through experience.